Oh, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways. We've got a full program. We're going to be talking to the chief people for the Golden Horse Casino Sprint Race Day. We'll find out all about that. We'll show you a replay of the race as well. That's in your call. We've got lots of news, and we're going to show you the Preakness because that was a triumph for Mark Cass, who was interfered with in the Kentucky Derby. As you all know, we'll show you the unfolding story, tell you what's going on. But first of all, Brooks Koepka. Can we get away from him being the best player on the planet at the moment?
He's got to be, sure. When he got so far in front, no one's ever held a 7-stroke lead in any major going into the last. They've had 6-stroke leagues, a few guys, and this guy, he only won by 2. I think 16th and 17th he bogeyed. You watched most of it?
4 bogeys in a row.
In a row?
Yeah. He bogeyed
the jukebox had the jitters.
12th, 13th, 14th, 15th in a row. You got the jukebox, got the jitters.
Right? Yeah. And then he was chased home by Dustin Johnson. Is that right?
Yeah. So he's now number 1 in the world.
Is he?
What's interesting about this guy is that he's won 4 tournaments in his life. Okay. He won the 2017 Open, US Open, the 2018 PGA, the 2018 Open, and the 2019 PGA.
So James, but he must have won other tournaments.
He's never won another tournament. On the PGA Tour, he's never won a tournament.
He's just won majors.
He's just won 4 majors.
Wow, he's a good player, right? Is he going to get a T-shirt that fits? Jeez, he looks like a bouncer in a Joburg nightclub. But he can play.
He can play. So it just shows you, if you had more muscles, you'd probably have play as well.
I'd get rid of my Borat costume.
Yeah, okay.
If I had more muscles.
Rugby.
Yeah, rugby. Sharks had a bye, our beloved Sharks. So I thought the Stormers played a great game against Crusaders to draw.
Yeah, I thought they'd give them a hard time. They're tough and they're physical and they tackle well. But the Crusaders are amazing. They had no ball at all. Every time they get the ball, they score a try.
Yeah, they're a great team.
Unbelievable team.
The Lions and the Bulls. The Bulls won too. The Bulls won comfortably.
Yeah, the Bulls showed a complete turnaround. So that was nice to see, and the Lions won as well. So it was a good week for South African rugby.
What about South African soccer?
Beautiful Kaiser Chiefs. And no boys wearing yellow shirts today.
No Kaiser Chiefs around today. Can you believe who are they called? TS Galaxy or something?
Yeah, lower division.
A lower division, and they came along, and they're the first lower division team to win a major South African trophy. They beat the Kaiser Chiefs 1-0. It's the first time Kaiser Chiefs have not finished in the first 8. They've gone to 9th. Think a guy can keep the job?
No chance. I don't know how he's kept it this long, to be quite honest with you.
Kaiser Chiefs. But the guy who will keep his job is Pep Guardiola.
Yeah. Three
trophies this year, treble. But Jim, they outclassed the other team. 6-0. That's like a tennis score.
Yeah.
It's just, they were just way too good,
Yeah. It was, what do they call it, a donut in tennis.
A donut.
A donut, yeah.
6-0.
Yeah.
That's Dundas.
Yeah. Just talking about golf, the shootout. They have this super sport shootout. The team that won it was the old champions.
Who?
Matt Field and Nick Mallet.
Okay.
Can you imagine trying to play golf against those two?
Those two big Stellicas.
Yeah, they're big Stellicas, and they can
play.
I see
Mallet's doing adverts now on TV. You've seen him doing that.
Yeah, he's super class. I love Nick Mallet. I think he's
great. He's fantastic.
Yeah, great guy.
Broadband advert.
Yeah, and he says what he thinks when he's one of the people, the professionals are doing the show. Yeah. He tells them exactly like it was.
He's very good.
Talk about getting knocked out. Deontay Wilder.
Yes.
Knocked out the 20th win in a row, this Deontay Wilder. He's a pretty good boxer. How did he hit that guy?
He's going to have to fight.
He gave him a proper smack.
He's going to have to fight AJ soon.
Yeah. Okay. And not only did Mark Marquez win
he always wins, James.
Well, he's the best.
How did Binder do? The only ones we hear about are Binder and
Brad Binder ran 5th. His brother ran, I think, got crashed out in the GP3. Brad Binder ran 5th, I think, in the GP2. Mark Marquez won, but don't worry, there's another Marquez, okay? His brother, Alex Marquez, won the GP2. So the two of them both won the GP events. So they can ride those boys.
Yeah, but has he got the best bike and he always wins?
No, he's the best rider. You watch him ride, that's why it's so fantastic, because those bikes are so close But
Yeah.
the way he rides, he's just, look, he won easily this time.
Same as Mark Bess.
Yeah.
Marky.
Marky
Bess, Marky Marquez.
Yeah.
Okay, well done.
So there you go. That's the sport.
Come on, the Chiefs.
Is there anything else you want to be? You don't want to be a Kaiser Chiefs fan today?
You don't want to be a Kaiser Chiefs fan.
Or Manchester United. The two, how the mighty have fallen.
Whoa.
Okay, let's go and have a look at what we got in 3 to follow. Well, all the best horses in KwaZulu-Natal, and that's where the best racing is at the moment. So we're going to go and have a look at the first one of our 3 to follow. We go to Scottsville on Wednesday. They had a turf meeting there. And Robbie and Shannon stepped out. They've got a slew of babies. They're doing extremely well, and they've got some really nice babies. Let's go and have a look at Quant Master having his first run. He ran a cracking barrier trial. Got beaten 0.8 of a length, and I thought it was very good. And he was a bit unlucky here. Watch what happens at the start. I think the jockey loses his irons, or one of his irons, or whatever, but there's a lot of commotion.
Yeah, it's called Quant Master, and it's one of the outside. The eventual winner in Dave McLean's colours is on the outside. Yeah, the rider seems to sort of lean over towards the outside and then takes up the running. Shows a lot of speed, this horse, as does the horse that the money came for. Bold Phoenix in the black and white up the middle to inside is going very quickly. So is this horse Quant Master on his debut. And it looked at one stage, James, like the race was down the inside, but the result was down the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. But this course is running very well. It's running through all over the place. Quant Master now comes under a ride. He's by Master My Fate out of Windrush Mare, Eastern Gem, bred by Fast Fontaine, in Robbie Hill's colours. Left-handed ride. Looks like he's not completely balanced, and he looks like he's going to run nowhere here. Here he looks like he's got absolutely no chance. The winner's on the outside. It was the find of the week. If you listen to my podcast, you would have backed Candy Apple. I made it the best each way, and it ended up winning pretty easily. But quite a good time, and I think Quant Master next time out, certainly if he gets a good break and things go for him, he'd be very hard to beat. He's quite quick.
Yeah, quick horse.
Yeah. Okay. Then we're going to Greyville on Saturday. We had a big meeting there. Let's go to the first race, and we'll have a look at Duncan Howell's runner. He's stepping them out too. You've just seen Candy Apple win, and you'll see all the way up. Runs a cracking good race. This horse comes from way off them. Gets a tight run up the inside. Let's go and see what happens there.
Yeah, here we go, and this horse we found is called All the Way Up. Craig Zaki rides it from sluggish at the gate. The horse in all orange is My Silks. That is Shadrach, I fancied strongly. Cantrine up in front, came black, couldn't walk. Very lame in his one knee. But the horse we ordered to beat was Thomas Shelby in the black and white, Nelf Duncan's colours. But the horse we found is third last, and just been niggled along to get into the race. This is a smart debut, I thought, because the winner wins it's out wide as Toro Bravo. Comes with an absolute rattle to grab Thomas Shelby. But have a look how green the horse is on the fence. The horse we found for you all the way up.
Yeah, he's by Master of My Fate as well, out of a Sports World mare, and bred by Ditro Bloodstock. That's Brian Finch's breeding operation, and cruises through another one. But here you see he's not really hasn't got that much room there up the inside, but he does run on, gets a right-handed ride, and runs on pretty well at the death to run on for third. Well, there's a horse that looks like he'll certainly go a little further than the 1,000 meters that he ran in this race, and 1,200 next time probably be right up his alley and be well worth having a look at. As I say, there's some stables in form. Duncan Howell's stables in form. Let's go and see the next one. We go to Greyville, the second race, and Justin Snaith's filly, a lot of use made of her, and I think she's pretty good, this filly. Expect her to go on and win some races. Imogen is her name, Imogen, and she's in the Johnson colours.
Yeah, she's drawn hopelessly at 13. She eventually, after scratching, comes in. And she's quick out the gate alongside the horse of mine drawn out there, Camelot's Beauty. But they've decided they're going to go. My horse is keeping it out here, but it's in Nick Johnson's colours, and they got their mind set on beating the draw. So they go off to make it a quick pace. You know, Lady Secret's up there, centre stage. But this horse eventually gets there, and halfway up the straight, you know it has to run out of steam going at a pace like it's from a really wicked draw. So this is one you've got to keep an eye on. Richard tries to give it a little bit of a breather here, and the rest of the pack are waiting to pounce. The winner's a horse called Mary O. That's Mark Kahn's first winner back after injury. That comes down the inside with electric surge. But the horse in front is the horse we're following. He's asking her to run now.
Yeah, she's a Master of My Fate. Funny enough, 3 Master of My Fates we got on here. Bred by Mouton's Hook. She's out of a counteraction mare. And she's owned by the Crow Johnson Partnership. She's here, still in front, still wandering around. She's not really got any idea what's going on. Remember, this is actually her first run. She had a barrier trial. She'll come on a ton from this because a lot of use was made of her, and she's a very nice filly. She's got a nice galloping action. She's certainly worth having a very good look at her. I like the look of her. Interesting. 3 Masters of My Fates. They're doing extremely well, aren't they?
You can't buy shares in them. You can't buy a lot of stallions today. You try and buy a share in Ferrari, and they tell me Master of My Fate as well. You're going to have to pay. And there's another one, Vercingetorix.
Yeah.
You can't get a share in it. They're just hot property at the moment. And this is
hot property. We've got a couple of broodmare sales coming up. I wonder if they're going to be able to sell any broodmares. But let's move on and have a look at where are they now. Interesting chap we got here. You'll remember him.
Hi Lef and James, it's Basil Thomas here. For those of your viewers who've been really worried about me, I'm still alive. Since leaving the Clearwood Turf Club in 1998, I started a small consulting practice, and over the last 11 years or so I've been very much captured and happily captured by Hollywood Bets. They're a great team of guys and so nice to work with, so very progressive, and so I'm still involved in the industry, but albeit from a different angle. Take care, bye.
If you've been involved in horse racing in South Africa but have either moved away, immigrated or retired, we want to hear from you. Send us a short 30-second video recording on WhatsApp and we'll flight it on the show. Clips can be sent to either James on 071 588 5769 or Paul on 083 779 1311. We look forward to hearing from you.
Well, what I can tell you about Basil Thomas, it was the king of Clearwood. He ran the whole show there.
Fantastic
A
job.
nicer man you could not meet.
Top man. He got me into presenting, James. He said 25 years ago, he said to me, Lef, you've got to go and present, put it out there. And he spoke to Gavin Brown. I think we were at clubs at those days.
Yeah.
And Gavin said, right, this is fantastic. And they got me going. And I've been a friend of Basil since then. And I've always known where he's at. I see him at the odd rugby match, but a top man.
Yeah, lovely, lovely guy. And Basil, thanks so much for sending us that information. And we wish you well with what you're doing now. He's always been a guy who's loved his racing, and one of the fairest people you've ever met. I had a few run-ins with him, but he was absolutely
always fair man,
straight down the line.
Respected man.
But I ran in with everyone. I've even had a run-in with you or two.
No, never with me, James.
No,
never,
not with you.
Never.
No. Okay, full Georgia, your side. Let's have a look at the Plum of the Week, because this is a good one. You had to be with this. We were, and let's go and pick them up, see what they've got to say.
The outside, coming towards the 300-meter marker, class of 8 has the lead. La Duchesse goes in, Liquid Irish, Castellano to the outside, Rainbow Unicorns looking to run on, wide open, Liquid Irish at the 200-meter marker, Castellano, La Duchesse on the inside, Blanket of Snow, but Liquid Irish hit the front with 75 meters to go, and Liquid Irish staying on for the win. Rainbow Unicorn flashed up second, Castellano, then it's a three-way photo, Blanket of Snow, La Duchesse, all involved in the minor positions. Wait for the photo.
there you go. Liquid Irish run second his last 3 starts. Looked like had to beat the draw, that's all. And Stu Randolph, man for the job, did it perfectly and wonderful. The stable's firing when you Whitehead. Could have got 6-1 about this filly. 3 seconds in a row.
Massive price.
It was just absolutely on Interbet. That was the place. It was 6-1. Was crazy because she looked like pretty much a good thing.
Yeah.
There were horses that were fancied, but when you got Top Rider on and he can overcome the draw, that's where you get the money, because to get 6-1 about a filly like this. Well done to all the connections. The Howards and all of them, they love them being involved with this filly and with the Whitehead stable, so good luck to them all. Right, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with
Current affairs.
Best race time odds, transparency of betting markets, friendly and super efficient staff, the ability to negotiate odds, a full service tote with no limits, which is very important for exotic players, loyalty program, speedy withdrawal of funds, full odds multiple betting, and excellent in-play markets. These are just some of the many reasons that come to mind as to why I believe, as a serious punter, there is no online operator in South Africa that can realistically come close to matching what Interbet has to offer. Put simply, there's no other site like it, and the ability to negotiate odds adds to my fun and enjoyment. Interbet, where the professionals bet.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Current Affairs. One big stakes race in the country, and that was, of course, the World Sports Betting 1900, a Grade 2 race for $500,000. And we're also going to show you the Preakness. After all the drama from the Kentucky Derby, we're going to be showing that one. But the first one we're going to show you is the World Sports Betting. And Jim, it's a step up for the Vodacom Durban July.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that the best horse won the race.
Yes.
He was right up the top of the betting boards last year for the July.
He was a better horse then, James, but I've watched him lately. He's not the best mover. I think he's had his issues, and maybe they still didn't beat them because, as you say, it was unfortunate not to get in last year. No. But this cements his chances. Again, James, I think there were 7-8 horses within 1.5 lengths.
Yeah.
But he bounced back to his best, and to the victor go the spoils. Well done to Glenn. He's always been saying this horse. He's an entire. He's won a couple of Group 1s. Let's keep him an entire because he can go on and now he's going to have a crack at the Vodacom.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a pedigree, and he's actually a very good horse. And, he's shown that he was the right horse in the race.
I think he's won 2 Group 1s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he won the Cape Derby.
Yeah, he's won 2 Group 1s this horse. So he's a horse that I think comes back to his ability, as you say, with a pedigree. He could be a thorn in these favourite sides. Coming in with a lightweight, James. Got to come in light.
Yeah, he certainly looks like a player in the, he carried top weight here, and I thought that this was an extremely good win. I thought last time he looked like he wasn't quite right, and he didn't get a hard ride from Anton Marcus, who rode him. Well, that's why I was surprised Marcus didn't ride him this time.
Yeah.
Because he didn't look like he got punished.
Yeah.
And I mean, this race, he showed how good he
bounced
is.
right back.
Yeah.
Should we go have a look at the race, James?
Yeah,
Because
let's
I
go and
know
pick 'em.
there were a Group 1 winning filly of Robbie Hill's. The Barword had finished about a length back here. It was one of those desperate finishes.
Yeah, they all were on top of each other.
Yeah.
Let's go and see.
Wide open, Dawn Assault, Camperatus, Silver God, Magnificent 7 and Fresnay. 500 to go, World Sports Betting 1900, Orpheus on the bridle, a length and a quarter. Kampala Campari, Double Mint starts up, Made to Conquer, Dusra's between them. Homeward Bound, in front Orpheus. Kampala Campari takes the shortest route home. Double Mint's down the centre. Made to Conquer, Camperatus. Double Mint puts in a big claim at the 200-metre marker. Silver God's running on. Dusra Made to Conquer the outside. Dusra comes home hard. Fresnay Made to Conquer. Magnificent 7 down the inside. Fresnay eyes wide open, burst through between them. Eyes wide open, probably took the money. Photos second, third and fourth in an action-packed race.
Well, as you can see, there was horses right across the track. Difficult to see who's going to win with 100 to go. I thought Dusra had it. Then I saw Fresnay flying. Then I saw eyes wide open. James, it was a cracking good finish to the race, because at one stage a lot of horses could have won it.
Yeah. Warren Kennedy, I thought, gave this horse a cracking good ride. You know, you go talk about a couple of the others.
Yeah.
Justin Snaith's 2 horses ran well. Double Mint, I thought, got there early and didn't go on with
the key,
it.
Jim, I think, was
I think
Orpheus.
Double Mint's a Gold Cup horse. To
could
me,
well be,
he
could
is
well
the Gold
be,
Cup
could
horse.
well be.
I don't think he's a July horse. I might be wrong, but time will tell.
Yeah, so well, Justin at second and third.
Yeah.
Do you know, Jim, I think everyone expected a different unfolding of the race, but when Orpheus got left, and then Van Rensburg, because it's front-running horse, Van Rensburg tried to settle him behind. It was starting to go over horses. He brought it out, and it had cooked its goose when they turned for home. So we had a different pace, you know, and I think they were going even harder with Orpheus. So put a line through his run. But, James, what I want to ask you is, of the Snaith horses there, they're going to progress into, obviously, the mission being the Vodacom Durban July. Magnificent 7 showed that he's in this league. Made to Conquer is runner-up in the Vodacom Durban July. And as I think you're right, the other one is a Gold Cup horse.
That's my opinion of him. Double Mint, I've always thought was the right horse for the Gold Cup. And in fact, I put him into our Charity Turf Challenge on that basis.
Yeah, very open race. I think a horse like Dawn Assault was down the field beaten 1.3.
Yeah.
Really,
Camperatus ran a good race, first
very
run back
good race,
in the province, you know, so
Very
it shows
good.
you that Group 1 form.
Yeah,
Not
beaten
too
a
bad.
length, Camperatus. Yeah.
She should get in the July. The way
Yeah,
things
she's
are
Group
going,
1 winner if
she's
she goes
Group
there
1
forward.
winner.
Isn't
She's
there
gotta
another
get-
big fillies race on July Day?
Was Fiorella, did she pull up all right? Apparently,
Apparently, yeah. I believe both rider and jockey are okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
rider and jockey, both rider and jockey.
Both rider and jockey. The horse was fine, but rider and jockey were two different people.
Yeah.
Okay, so Muzi's up and about, because he's chasing the championship, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently
And
he
then,
got a
James,
bit of
you
concussion.
followed the Preakness and the
No,
Derby.
first let's get through the other stuff. We'll finish with the Preakness.
Oh, you want to finish
I
with
want,
the
Yeah,
Preakness?
I want to just say that the listed race, we don't normally talk about listed race, we don't show them, but Roy's Rivera won it. That's a Magic Millions All Too Hard filly.
Yeah,
And
very good.
they had the Highveld Awards, and All Too Hard Colt of Mike de Cox won the Highveld Award. You can pick up the All Too Hards very reasonably in
James,
Australia.
I backed this filly of Frank's, and things never went right well for him. They still won. Ran 3 wide the whole way, got into the race, and then the danger, my RB Gold had to run even wider.
Yeah.
But it won a good race. He was punching out in the end, and it goes back to the King's Cup. That's what I was going on. We won the King's Cup with Dark Moon Rising. This horse was third, beaten that far. You know, was second. Matador Man, who was running later in the day at 5-2, and he never got a smack. He won so comfortably. So that form has stood up very strongly.
No, there's no doubt. And
Yeah.
I think she's a very good filly, this
Very
Royce
good
Rivera. And funny enough, I made her the each way bet on the
10
podcast.
to 1, James.
On the podcast, I made her the each way bet of the day.
10
so,
to 1.
The Interbet podcast. But I think we should just see the advert for the sale. We've got Magic Millions sale coming up. And that's why we're talking about this, because All Too Hard, he's not fashionable in Australia. You can
It's not
buy
too
them.
bad, James.
You can buy them for,
You can buy them.
for
You can
reasonable
buy them.
money, you know.
You can
and
buy
you
them.
can go to the yearling sales and buy yourself an All Too Hard. Let's go and see what they've got to offer. Let's see the advert.
Leonardo's flying. Leonardo to Hitchy takes the lead. Great effort. Mystic Journey going well. Mystic Journey by over 2. Mystic Journey does it easily. Fedora in front. Unlucky last year. She's the hero tonight, Fedora.
Boom Sarah Bondi out back Barbie. They hit the line. Boom Sarah.
There we go. That's Magic Millions, and they've got so many horses going up for sale. Mares, weanlings,
They start this week with the.
That's
I think
right.
This week's the weanlings.
Weanlings,
Yeah.
weanlings, then the mares, then the yearlings.
Yeah, the yearlings are still times 5th, 6th, 7th of
But
June.
Do you know what mares they've got, James? They've got, whoa, some of the best performed horses at the moment. The slipper winners' mothers up for sale.
Yeah.
So they've really got, it's going to be a really strong sale, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, as it always is.
Yes.
And then let's go and have a look at a couple of other bits of information. Last winter, as you know, the
Met runner-up.
Yeah, he's now gone to Sir Michael Stout at Newmarket. He's left Mike's Dubai operation and gone there to probably campaign on the grass in England. And we were talking, funny enough, to Bernard Fade Herb during the week, and he's telling us that he's going to ride Marineresco in, I think, Singapore. isn't he?
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So that should be something to look forward to. We talked to you last week about the Bullrich sale, the big sale in Argentina. So now we got some results because they've had the first 2 days. The 2 top priced horses on the sale. Now this shows you what value there is in Argentina. The Uncle Mo filly went for $95,000.
Sale topper.
Cell topper. And she is out of a very, very good family. I mean, that's one of the Stormy Kitten, that's one of the best families in America. And so that's 1.5 million rand.
Yeah,
You
that's
can go
right.
and spend that and spend $500,000, bring it back here, you're getting a 2 million rand. You go to the yearling sales here and you've got to pay 4 or 5 million rand for something like
Yeah.
that. Okay, and the other one, the Colt, went for 90,000. That's a 3 parts brother to Invaser, who was
Top horse.
who won the Dubai World Cup. So, you know, by equal stripes, there's value in some of these markets overseas. We should be
Justin
looking
Vermaak goes
very
there.
closely.
He goes and buys there.
Yeah.
You'll see them. I think he buys them for mainly
Justin
for Lawrence
Vermaak,
Werners.
yeah.
He buys some.
Well,
yeah,
off
sauce
the
and
farm, he
flavours.
must be buying them a lot
So
cheaper
it's-
off the farm.
Yeah, and
because you can buy them for sort of
Orpin and
$50,000
buy-
and $60,000.
buy top
yeah.
stallions.
Yeah, yeah. Jack Mitchell passed away. That was a terrible thing, but he's been very ill, Jack.
Been very ill, yeah.
And he went to America to try and get sorted out, see if they could sort out his leukemia. And unfortunately, they couldn't. And, you know, you just got to spend a moment mentioning him. He was such a nice man.
Fair man.
And
Told it like it was. And the article by John Freeman was outstanding.
was fabulous, yeah.
Fabulous. So great. He got to the character of the man. It was a very good article.
Yeah, yeah. Jack Mitchell was one of those guys. You know, he'd always
He had time
been-
for everyone.
Everyone. He just he deserved all the success that he had. You
Yeah.
know, with some very, very good horses. And John Freeman ran his life for him as an owner, and I think John did an unbelievable.
They were
job.
great mates.
Yeah, unbelievable job for him, and became best of friends. What else was there? Oh, the Japan. I wanted to tell you about Japan. Love's Only You is a filly by Deep Impact, okay? So you know Deep Impact
Yeah,
is
geez.
Sunday Silence, okay?
Yeah, the legendary
Funnily enough, I
stallion.
saw a picture of Sunday Silence and Easy Go dueling it out in, I think, the Preakness.
Preakness, yeah.
About 1989 or something. Sunday Silence got sold to Japan. He has
Deep
been,
Impact's outsold him. Deep Impact, the Irish now send mares to Deep Impact.
and the Australians.
And the Aussies,
Yeah, everyone sends mares to Deep Impact. Anyway, this filly was the top price filly of a year at the sale. She cost $1.15 million, okay? But you can see why, because she's got that Stormcat cross,
Yes.
and her third dam was Miesk, one of the best bred
Yeah,
fillies
we've
around.
got such an influence in this country. Yeah.
Anyway, she won 2 from 2. She went into the Japan Oaks as the favourite, and she won by a head, but she won easily. She broke Gentle Donna's race record.
She's good.
Japan is unbelievable
Sure, she's
strength as far as racing goes. But the Preakness was the big business on the weekend. War at Will, as we tipped you last week, would win it, and he did. And the Wests, what's going on with them is that they've filed a lawsuit against the Kentucky Racing Commission to overturn the result. So they have gone to court.
And didn't they challenge the other runners from the Derby?
Well, yeah. What will happen is that they challenge all the horses that were involved in the controversy. There were 4 of them.
Yes.
Okay, to a $5 million match race.
Yes.
Put up $5 million.
No one's going to take it.
No one will take it. There's no chance. But he says there's $20 million. You 4 Muppets can come along. We'll all race for it. You put in your $5 million. I'll put in all the $5 million. I'll put in $20 million against you, and you put in $5 million each, and we'll have a go. But I'll collect the money if I beat you. You collect the money if you beat me.
When will that horse run again?
When's what?
The Gary West's horse.
No, he's going for the Haskell. He's not going for the
Group
third
one,
leg. Not
older
going for
horses.
the Belmont. He's going for the Haskell.
Haskell, okay.
Jason Service, his trainer, says that he got banged up in that race, and I think he got cut into behind as well. So who knows?
All right. So the Preakness, obviously there's no Triple Crown winner this year, but let's go and have a look at this race, Jim.
Let's go and see the Preakness.
Field of 13 that are all in line. We're ready for the start. Improbable, restless in the starting gate. Mike Smith and Improbable settling down. They're off. In the Preakness, and the maiden Bodie Express lost the jockey at the start. Unseated John Velasquez right out of the gate. So Warriors Charge will go out to the early lead as they come through the stretch for the first time. Market King is away running in second. Another Twist of Fate is third on the outside, and behind them is the Maryland horse, Always Mining. War of Will is fifth and down on the inside. And then it's Win, Win, Win. There's a break of another 2 back to Improbable, who's racing about 7 lengths off the lead early on. Then Bourbon War, followed by Owendale and Signalman to the outside, and the loose horse is running in behind them. The 2 trailers are Ever Fast and Laughing Fox. 22.5 was a swift opening quarter mile as they head onto the backstretch where Warriors Charge leads the way. Market King is second, and then it's another Twist of Fate third on the outside. And they complete this first half mile in the Preakness in 46.16 seconds. Tyler Gaffleone has War of Will fourth at the rail and 4 lengths off the lead. A similar trip to the Kentucky Derby right behind the pacemaker. And then comes Always Mining to the outside. Improbable is racing in between horses with 4.5 lengths to make up. And then it's Win, 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 and Owendale and Signalman is down on the inside. So they make their way around the far turn. Warriors Charge continues to lead the way. Another Twist of Fate pressing on the outside. Always Mining is getting going right behind the leaders, and now moving 3 wide on the far outside. Improbable is in gear as well, and then it's War of Will on the inside, who's now being ridden to keep up. Win, Win, Win is going very wide. Owendale 2, and they're into the stretch, and it's Warriors Charge off the turn in front. Another Twist of Fate. Here's War of Will, and he got through an opening on the inside at the gate pole. Owendale is storming down the center of the track, but it's War of Will coming down to the 16th pole in front. In front by 2 lengths late. A late charge from Longshot Everfast on the inside too, but nothing stood in his way. War of Will won the Preakness. And then it was Everfast in a photo with Owendale, followed by Warriors Charge, and a final time of 1 minute 54.15 seconds. Today was the day for War of Will.
Right in the middle of all of it at the Kentucky Derby. A close second when Maximum Security veered, but nothing in the path of War of Will for Mark Casse.
Well, James, the best horse won.
Yeah.
The best horse.
And you saw he was the best
Great
horse.
rubber, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler got the run up the inside. How the other guy?
The other guy kept him tight there. He let him in.
He tried to come back,
tried
but
to
you
come
know
back
what? You got to stay on the rail. You can't
you
let
can't
that
leave
guy
the
through.
rail, yeah.
And let him through. Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, it's, the good part of it is it's owned by Gary Barber.
Yeah, South African man.
Yeah,
Good luck to him.
he's a big player. And Mark Cass trains it. Tyler rode it, and Mark Cass's brother is Justin Cass. I think he comes over.
And is his mother Mama Cass?
Yeah, Mama. You had this last week. We decided last week.
So let's see if you're awake, Jim.
Well, the problem is that last week I tried to explain to you why mother couldn't be Mama Cass.
Why?
Because Mama Cass is British.
No, Mama Cass is American. The point I'm trying to make to you is his mother will always be called Mama Cass. Anyone who's got a surname has got a mother, Mama Cass.
Okay, well, they're mothers and
The
mama
mothers, the
calves.
mothers and the papas.
Yeah,
Mamas and the papas.
Mother calves, yeah. Were they American group or British?
American.
Oh, were they? Okay, well, then maybe his mother is mama calves. I'm not sure. Really? Listen, any of you got any ideas? Send back some tweets. We'd like to hear that. That's about it as far as this is concerned. Now, what you've got is you've got Maureen Kivitz, who's going to come and talk to you about the Golden Horse Casino Race Day.
Yes.
And it's a great day. What's it, this weekend?
It's this weekend, yes. 4 Group 1s, the need for speed.
Oh, it's a great day.
All over 1,200 metres, all up the stretch, and all for Group 1 status.
Can we go and eat in that place where they just have food?
Yeah, you can go and eat in any place where they just have food, James. Yeah. And okay, we'll speak to Maureen. And
there's a bus going up. Graham Hawkins got a bus going up. Well, you're going to talk to her about it, find out all about it.
I will do.
We'll be back with your call, where we got the Golden Horse Casino Sprint Race Day.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Your Call. As we said from the outset that we're going to talk to Maureen Kivitz, who is from the Soga Sun. We've got these 4 massive sprints. The advert showed you that. And Maureen's Director of Operations and Complex GM. This is ambiguous.
Rather long-winded, yes, it is.
But you've been doing it for 7 years. You know it inside out. And have you made it better every year?
I think so. We had sponsorship 2 years ago from eThekwini Municipality. That's obviously fallen away. So it is a little bit more downscaled, but still everybody's very passionate and eager to actually just showcase the Golden Horse Sprint.
Yeah, so it's a big day for you guys. And let's talk about the advert first, the bus. Now, that looks like a lot of fun.
It does. I think this is the first year that it's been put on, and I think, wow, what an opportunity to actually get on the bus, be hosted by Graham. Obviously giving you a few pointers and tips, I'm sure, for the actual race day. And then being able to go to Golden Horse or Scottsville Racecourse, have fun, drink a few drinks, and then come home again.
Yeah, don't have to worry
fabulous.
About, absolutely. And you get a race book, you get it costs you 100 to get on the bus, and you get a 50 Rand vetting voucher.
Yeah, and your free race book.
Free racebook. So that's fantastic. They'll all be hosted there, and it's always a big thing. This and people are looking at these 4 races to find out who could be the Equus champion sprinters in their different categories, 2-year-old boys, 2-year-old girls, and what have you. Now, you've got to get there early and make sure everything's right. You've got your team. Is it a long day for you?
It is actually, yeah. I think everybody's there from about 10, 11 o'clock, and we go right through to 6, 7, 8, because we're obviously hosting our own punters as well, which we invite from our various sister units across the country. So we have to host and entertain those guys
That must
as well.
be a big thing, Maureen. You've got your high rollers, if I can use that term, from around the country, and you say, guys, here's a treat. How many nights do you put them up for? What are you going to all their meal? How do you do it?
What we normally do is we invite them to come for 2 nights, and on the Friday night we have a show and a band playing, or whatever the case is, just to sort of relax and enjoy Welcome to Golden Horse and just showcasing our property a little bit. And then on the Saturday, obviously they've got to be there for 12 o'clock when the races start. And it's all hosted in the conference centre, which has got great viewing for the parade ring as well as the race course. Then they've got the opportunity to place bets, and we entertain with food. And
is that what I would call the old members, where you overlook the parade ring?
Yes.
So your high rollers will be in there. Aren't there a few owners of horses?
Yes, yeah. We also accommodate, I think it's 20 or 30 Gold Circle members and owners. Yes. They also sort of join us in the conference room. They did last year for the first time, so that actually worked really well.
Yeah, it's a great place for you guys to view it. So they come down, excuse me, and they would gamble in your casino because they got that option.
Yes,
that's been the Friday night, and is this a normal thing to bring down your high rollers?
It is. We've been doing it ever since I've been at Golden Horse, which is now 7 years. And you know what? They enjoy it. It's an opportunity for the other units to reward their high rollers. Yeah. And they actually come and get showcased and experience a bit of racing. Yeah. You know, there's such a vibe and an atmosphere that it's just such a wonderful day or weekend for them.
Well, when your guys come in, do they have a dress code or something like that? Or
we
they all normally dress smartly?
Obviously we do on the race day. This year it's the vintage flair. And we'll be giving away 6 prizes for the best dressed, 3 best males, 3 best females. It's a cash prize.
Now, that's interesting. Now, it seems to be quite trendy to do it at major race meetings, to have the fashion play a part in it. So, do you have judges walking around? Because could someone just come racing and be dressed so well that they get selected?
We do have a few people that we've highlighted that'll walk around the actual race course, just spotting out people that they think have actually dressed to the theme. And then they'll obviously put their names forward or select them and ask them to come up onto the stage and collect their prize.
Repeat the theme.
Vintage flair.
Vintage flair, so it's got
very
a few
wide spectrum.
That's right, it's very wide spectrum. And then you go for 3 males, 3 females.
Yes, yeah, and we'll give away a cash prize. I think it's 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000 in each. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Section.
That's all given out from you guys. And okay, and then you have other giveaways in the day. Tell me about them.
Yeah, we do. We're going to ask, we're handing out flyers, and there's a question on the flyer, and you just put your obviously the answer on the flyer, and we're giving away 6. We'll draw 6 lucky winners, and they can choose a stay at one of our KZN hotels. So that ranges from the Beverly Hills to the Maharani.
Is this the flyer with the question on it?
Yes.
You don't know the question yet?
No, the question's on the flyer, yes. It's been printed, but...
It's been printed, so the guy will have to fill it in, answer the question correctly to go to the next stage, and then if they win, they get to stay in...
one of our hotels.
And there's 6 of those?
Yes, six prizes, ranging from Beverly Hills to Elangeni Maharani, Drakensberg Sun as well is also on the list.
I see that a lot of the Gold Circle people, because the Khwanja members, will now be hosted at Rockefeller's. That's a great venue.
It is, and this also happened last year. A lot of changes happened last year. They've got a lovely little 120-seater, like a private banqueting area, which Gold Circle have taken out. And then you also host quite a few people in the actual restaurant itself. I think it can take anything up to 500 in the actual restaurant. So rather a large venue.
Yeah, so this is the big day for Soga-san?
It is, actually. You know, we've been doing it, I'm assuming, for the last 19 years, because the race day has been running for 57.
Yes.
So I'm sure we've been partnering with Gold Circle since inception of Golden Horse. And it's an exciting day. You know, the vibe, the atmosphere, the staff dress up. It's a very, very exciting day for us.
So we've We've all got something to look forward to. It sounds fantastic, Maureen. I know I will obviously be there, and a lot of the racing pundit get out there to go and see the best horses in their age groups and their whether they're boys or girls, because the filly sprints there. So it's another wonderful attraction for especially your high rollers as well.
And you know, it's something different, you know, because a casino linked to a race course, I think we're the only one in Africa that is linked to that.
Is that right?
Yeah, so, you know, it's a very different sort of experience for everybody, and I think that's what's so unique about the whole day. Not only are you linked to gaming, but you've also got the opportunity to see these wonderful horses running and sprinting down the straight.
Okay, so as what's it, complex GM? I do like that ambiguous statement. You know, you've got to make sure everything works, and we're really hoping that Maureen, it's absolutely a fantastic day for you.
I have no doubt it'll be a fabulous day.
Have they all run smoothly?
It has, yes, always. It's been a great team. If you have a great team behind you, you can accomplish many things.
Well, Maureen, thanks very much for coming in, and we will touch base on the day.
Super, thank you.
There we go. Don't forget that it's Maureen telling us all about this big day. It's a massive day. As we were talking, the best 2-year-old filly could be running on the day, the best 2-year-old colt, the fastest filly. They're all over 1,200 metres. It's a great day's racing. And if you can, try and get on the bus. If you don't like to drink and drive, get up there. Graham's a great host. He'll give you a good couple of tips. I don't know if they'll win, but try and get up there. And thanks very much to Maureen for coming into your call.